Fam, what's up? How's everybody doing? What's going on? Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. Coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I want to get your score prediction for this upcoming matchup. I'm going to take your score prediction today and get your X factor. We got Jackson Dart up on the screen right now. I was noticing that Prize Picks has him throwing for 240 yards against this Alabama secondary. No. That is not going to happen. By the way, today is an action-packed day. Tons of great college football games across the board. Let's look at some of those right now before you guys call in. And the call-in line is open, so just call in. Let's have fun with it. You guys can give me your score prediction and your X factor. I'm going to actually bring this full screen so you guys can check it out. I appreciate the score predictions inside the comment box. What's up, Base? I see you inside there. Eric D as well. When we look at the scoreboard for today, and again, the call-in line is open. Call in 205-850-1994. The college football scoreboard, we got Michigan, who has the #1 scoring defense in the country right now, ranked #2, taking on Rutgers. Michigan is favored by 24 in that game. Over-under set at 43.5. How about this one? Florida State and Clemson. Do you believe in the Seminole Kool-Aid? We're about to find out today going against Dabo Swinney. Clemson has that lone loss to Duke. Clemson just isn't Clemson anymore. Florida State only favored by 2. This game is at Clemson. Over under set at 55. I don't know. I think I'm taking Clemson in this one, right? If there's any time to go against Florida State right now, you got to go with Clemson. It looks like there could be a little bit of rain as well. Then at the 11 o'clock game, also on Fox, you have, you have Oklahoma taking on Cincinnati. Sooners favored by 14. And how about this one? No Travis Hunter as Colorado and Coach Prime head to Oregon to take on the Ducks. Oregon is favored by 21 points in that game. Over under set at 70. Bo Nix has Oregon 3-0. And as they start out Pac-12 play, you have UCLA taking on Utah. Utah's ranked higher than Alabama is, right? That's crazy to think about. So is Oregon. Call line is open. Utah and UCLA. Utah is favored by 3.5. And then you have Ole Miss and Bama right here, beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I'll be headed to the stadium here in a little bit. I don't live too far from Bryant-Denny. Ole Miss coming in with the 4th highest ranked scoring offense in the country. Over under set at 56. Over under is the total points scored in the game. Alabama favored by 7. You have Duke, who is number 18, taking on UConn. And then you have Miami taking on Temple. You have Texas San Antonio taking on Tennessee. And then you have Arkansas and LSU in an interesting SEC matchup. See if the Tigers can slow down Jefferson. That's an interesting one. LSU's favored by 17.5. Whoa. How about Oregon State taking on Washington? All these teams in the Pac-12. This is like the last year of the Pac-12, and all these teams are ranked now, right? Contract year, I guess. Florida taking on Charlotte, and then, wow, Georgia. That tough schedule continues as they take on UAB. Favored by 40 points. Over under set at 55. I don't think they're going to win by 40. And then you have Texas tonight taking on Baylor. Good matchup right there. Those are those type of games that get squirrely sometimes for Texas, but they are favored by 17. People definitely all hyped up about Texas. And then tonight, you got the good one taking on between Ohio State and Notre Dame. This is an incredible day of college football. If you're anywhere by your big screen TV, I hope you have some food that you can eat throughout the day and relax and watch all these games. And you have Ohio State taking on Notre Dame, where Ohio State is favored by 3. Game is up in South Bend as Notre Dame tries to get to 5-0 on the season with quarterback Sam Hartman. And then you also have Iowa taking on Penn State. Yeah, there's so much good college football on today. It's amazing. Sound off inside the comment box. What's up? My name is Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. I want to get your score prediction for tonight's game between Alabama and Ole Miss. Not today. I meant this afternoon at 2:30. That is the kickoff time where Alabama will take on Ole Miss. And Ole Miss is coming in with, I think, some good momentum. I know Kiffin's been trying to downplay it a little bit, but here's kind of, I screenshotted this recently. This is a look at the big, 2 coming in for Ole Miss. And again, I think they're scoring like 52 points a game or something like that. I agree. Eric, I'm not buying into Iowa. I'm not buying into Florida State just yet. Honestly, it's just Notre Dame. Look, I get it. Notre Dame's quarterback. I do like the quarterback. I will give them that. But overall, I don't know. I don't know if I'm feeling it. Yes or no, inside the comment box, is Notre Dame overrated or are they for real this year? We're about to find out. If they can stop all those Ohio State wide receivers, I think they have a shot. Jackson Dart, he has 152 yards passing. He also has rushed for 213 yards on the season. He's the type of quarterback that can keep the chains moving. And I had a video go out yesterday where I was talking about a key factor, I feel, in this game today will be Alabama's ability to stop Lane Train and stop Jackson Dart from keeping the chains moving. I think that Jackson Dart is going to be a playmaker. He's going to be a problem to deal with, but I think the defense has been playing pretty well. Okay, but the reason I do highlight Jackson Dart and his rushing ability is the fact that last week, what was that? Byron Brown, the quarterback for South Florida, he ran for 92 yards or something like that. And Jackson Dart is a lot better athlete than this guy. So coming in, and you also have Lane Kiffin, who understands the offensive schematics of what it's going to take to, take Alabama down to the wire wherever it goes. Call line is open, 205-850-1994. Roll Tide to you guys. Appreciate you guys joining me this morning. A couple question marks, and I had a video go out on this earlier today. And we're tracking 10 different items, and I think you kind of lead off with the health status of Tyler Booker, who was out last week against South Florida with what Coach Saban said were back spasms. Now, Coach Saban said that he does provide some confidence to Caden Proctor at that tackle position, and Proctor has struggled 1,000,000%. He actually has a Pro Football Focus grade of 47.8 in pass protection. Okay, think of those as like grades that your kids bring home. That is not good, needs to improve. He will be tested. He will be challenged today against Ole Miss. This is a scary fact. Ole Miss has sacks on the quarterbacks from 8 different guys. 8 different guys. Pete Golding is going to try to have the game of his life to come in here and Brian Denny to beat Nick Saban. Caden Proctor got to figure out a way to give him confidence, have him play at a high level. Shoot, maybe put Robbie Oots right behind him as the H-back. I don't know. Will Alabama's offense wake up? Alabama right now is ranked 54th in the country in scoring offense. But then you look at it, it's like 32 points a game. I mean, that's not terrible. USC, for example, leads the country with 59.3 points per game, followed by Oregon at 58 points per game. Oklahoma has 55 points per game. And then Ole Miss, who Alabama's playing today, is scoring 52 points a game. You have some games in there against Tulane, Georgia Tech, Mercer. Their schedule hasn't been challenging, but they are scoring points, and to no surprise because Lane Kiffin does what he does. We go to the phone lines with our first caller, and we go right now. Hey, good morning. Thanks for joining the show. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who I'm on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
This is Ben from Oregon.
Ben, calling up from Oregon. This is a great call. I appreciate you starting off the show. So first of all, Oregon is hosting Coach Prime. Oregon, you buying into that 21-point spread today for Oregon, the Ducks?
I think it'll probably be about 28-point finish with Oregon winning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's gonna be
Colorado
tough.
smoke and mirrors.
It's gonna
Colorado
be tough. Yeah, I think A on that. And look, what's going on over there is exciting for college football because you don't have any coach really with a personality as big as Coach Prime, clearly. And he's doing the right, he's getting players and he's winning games and he's doing the right thing. But in terms of, going out to Oregon and then beating a USC here in a couple weeks, it's going to be tough to do, especially with no Travis Hunter. As we turn the page to Alabama versus Ole Miss, what's on your mind regarding that game?
Well, I guess I would ask you a question that what evidence do you have in the past 3 years for our offensive line do you have to show that they would actually turn it around today? They've been awful for 3 years. 3 years.
The offensive line hasn't been the offensive line that we're accustomed to at Alabama. I'll give you that. I think what provides me a little bit of confidence today, and I say that kind of, with kind of sus is the fact that Tyler Booker will be healthy today. And I think, in some strange way, he gives Caden Proctor confidence to where he can show up and have a better game against Ole Miss. Look, I'm terrified of the offensive line right now at Alabama. And Eric Wolford came in and he was supposed to resurrect this offense. There's been a big drop-off with the Alabama offensive line. I get that. J.C. Latham, I think, is their one solidified offensive lineman. Tyler Booker, as good as he is, I'm kind of still waiting for him to really showcase that. Terrible. Right? I mean, and then what about Seth McLaughlin? What about Seth?
Well, you can make a drinking game out of how often Tyler Booker's on the ground at the end of a play.
So you
of
have.
Course, you'd be drunk by halftime, but that's not the point.
I think a lot of people are probably already getting their drink on watching this Alabama team. And I've seen it, honestly. I've seen kind of the frustration that fans have right now about this team. They don't have confidence in this team, and rightfully so. These first 3 games have been less than substandard. But let me ask you this, Ben. We're on with Ben from Oregon calling in. Do you feel that a win today over Ole Miss in any shape or fashion catapults this team on the right trajectory?
No, this is cultural. I mean, we've become what we used to play against, in the fact that all that the Ole Miss has to do is make us one-dimensional. That means all they have to do is load the box with 8, cover our hot reads, middle row, throw a pick. That's all that they have to do to beat us. That's what Saban used to do, is we'd make teams one-dimensional. Mm-hmm. Well, we have a quarterback that can't read outside of his hot reads. All you have to do is cover the hot reads, and he's done. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't even take into account how bad the offensive line is. So if you put all that together, there's nothing to show that one game would turn this around, because this has been going on for 3 years, and it goes to show how incredible Bryce Young was, because he covered this stuff up on his own the last 2 years.
What's your thoughts on Lane Kiffin?
I think he's probably going to be Alabama's next coach.
Mm-hmm. And how do you feel about that?
I think that he's learned a lot. I think the humble pie he had years ago really helped him become a better coach. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure how he'll do with the old school boosters of Alabama, but I think that he'd be a good coach here. I think he's an outstanding offensive mind. I think if he were to come here, as long as he didn't bring Pete Golding, then we'd be fine.
You imagine the irony of that is he leaves and then he comes back and he brings Pete Golding with him. All right, Ben, score prediction, and on the positive side, who is your X factor for today's game? Give me your score prediction first.
I say it's going to be 34-23, Ole Miss, and I think that our kicker will be the star of the show, both the punter and the kicker. And I think today is a day that even Pete Golding can't screw up for their defense.
All right, Ben. Well, I appreciate you leading off the show. Enjoy your tons of college football, and we'll catch you soon. Please call again next time.
All right, roll tide.
Roll tide to you, buddy. All right, that was Ben leading off the show. Gave us his score prediction. He has Ole Miss winning. Again, if you could drop your score prediction inside the comment box, give this video a thumbs up as well. I will be headed down to Bryant-Denny Stadium here in a couple hours as Alabama takes on Ole Miss. Alabama ranked number 13. Ole Miss ranked number 15. Alabama favored by 7. I think a lot of the cause for concern is clearly Jalen Milroe at the quarterback position, as I could see inside the comment box. I mean, people keep asking the same question. How many interceptions is he going to throw? That's not something that you want to continue to hear when talking about the quarterback play. Can you imagine if he throws an interception today? My goodness, the groans that you're going to hear in the stands. He has an opportunity to prove everyone different today. Go out and win the football game. 419, let's get it. Hey, good morning. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
What's up, Kyle? This is DeSean from Ohio. Roll Tide, baby. It's game day.
That's right, man. It is game day. I appreciate you calling in from Ohio, man. What's on your mind regarding this matchup today? And want to dive into your score prediction and X factor. But, from this perspective, I mean, Alabama has to win. I mean, you have to win every single game in college football. But this game is bigger than people. People get it to some aspect, but you have to win this game.
Yeah, we have to, because I don't know if everybody knows, if we lose today, we have a 3% chance of making the college football playoffs. And that's something none of us wants to see. So we have to go out there and get it done. I think we're going to win today. We already established what our quarterback is going to be, so we don't have to worry about him playing careful football. He's going to be able to unleash himself and show everybody that he is the quarterback and he can win this football game for us today. And I'm just excited to see what's going on. 3:30 can't come up fast enough, sir. Tell you that.
Hey, DeSean, on with DeSean let me ask you this, DeSean. Do you feel that Alabama naming their quarterback will spur this team and give this team some momentum going into today instead of this waffling back and forth? Like, these guys know who the quarterback is.
Yeah, correct, because now everybody's going to understand that we're just going to live and die by Jalen Milroe. We're not about to, he throws an interception and then we're going to, here, Ty Simpson, go win us the game. We're going to just play with Jalen no matter what. So that's going to bring the team at ease. So now the confidence is going to be there. So we don't have to worry about a quarterback change. He's going to be able to just play the whole game, and whatever happens. We're going to just let the chips fall.
All right, DeSean, give me your score prediction and then give me your X factor for today's game.
Okay, so score, I'm going to go 30-24 Alabama. I'm not going to just say, we're going to blow them up, because they do have the number 2 scoring offense in the country. So I'm not going to just say, we're going to just do them awful. And can I do 2 X factors?
Hell yeah, man. You can do whatever you want.
Okay, well, I'll do 3 then. Well, the first X factor is going to be Jalen Milroe, of course, because we're only going to be as good as he plays. So we're going to highlight him tonight. We're going to highlight Dallas Turner tonight, because everybody's been saying he hasn't been living up to the hype. So this is SEC play now. He got to show us. And the third, we're going to go Kool-Aid McKinstry.
Yo, love it.
He has a tough matchup tonight against, let me see, what is his name? Trey. Let me see, what's this receiver name there?
Look, there's plenty.
Trey Harris.
Yeah, I mean, if Trey Harris is good to go, I mean, that's another difficult matchup for anybody. I mean, he's one of the most talented wide receivers, and some of their offensive guys are a little bit banged up. But I think those guys, kind of like Alabama's, they should probably be at good health. But yeah, Harris is a hell of a wide receiver. So yeah, Kool-Aid, I like that pick. Dallas Turner, you got to come with it tonight, and then of course Jalen Milroe, and I like your score prediction, man. DeSean, thank you so much for calling in this morning. I hope you enjoy your day of college football. Oh, let me get you one more score prediction. Who you got today between Ohio State and Notre Dame?
I'm going to go Notre Dame, specifically from the quarterback play. You have a veteran in Sam Hartman, 5th-year senior, and he just awakened Notre Dame's offense. They went from barely beating people to they're down there blowing everybody they're playing out now.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the difference maker in the game between him and Kyle McCord. So I'm going to take about I take Notre Dame by 21 points tonight.
Woof. Oh my goodness. All right, man. Well, DeSean, I appreciate you, man. Don't let them know you're from Ohio. But I appreciate you calling in, man, and have a good day.
Yeah, for sure. Roll Tide.
All right, roll Tide to you, man. Man, 21 points, Notre Dame over Ohio State. I don't know. I'll believe it when I see it. But I do think Notre Dame, look, I do like the quarterback play. And I did like Notre Dame growing up. I think we all did, right? That was like the one team that kind of made that college football pageantry. But just lately, when I see them play Alabama, it's just not the same. I don't know. But the quarterback is tight. Let me ask you this. What if Sam Hartman, what if he was the quarterback at Alabama? Just saying. All right, 936. Let's get it. Hey, thanks for calling in. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
This is Daniel. I'm in Texas.
Daniel calling from Texas, man. We went from Oregon to Ohio. Now we're back to the Lone Star State. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. What's on your mind, man? Take it away.
First off, I wanted to let it be known that I'm originally from Alabama. I'm just here, so roll Tide.
Roll Tide too.
Secondly, I think that there's a lot of overreaction going on. I look at the core of our defense. Our defense has been keeping us in games. That's first off. And our secondary, I believe, is improved. Our defense can provide a little bit more pressure, but our defense, I believe, is the best part of our team right now. Mm-hmm. Now, as the season goes, you got to see improvement. Mm-hmm. And I believe this game at 2:30, we will see a much improved Alabama team. Mm-hmm. I believe that. I believe our offensive line is going to perform better. I really do. And I believe our quarterback play is going to be better. I believe that the team rallies behind and they believe in Milroe, but I believe he has to show improve. And I'm hoping that Tommy Rees can scheme a game that really caters to our strengths. Mm-hmm. We have some very good receivers, mm-hmm. but you wouldn't know it because we haven't gotten the ball to them consistently. Mm-hmm. And that's something that is just not on Milroe. Yeah, it's a big part of it is him, mm-hmm. but we have to be able to scheme these receivers open. I sometimes feel like we're a little bit vanilla. Mm-hmm. What happened to some of the screens, the end arounds, we have to have layers, and I haven't seen layers. Mm-hmm. And lastly, I'll say this to you, give you the mic. It's your show.
It's all good, man.
We should be encouraged when we get this win today. Why? Because out of 4 weeks, right, we would have gone against two of the best offensive minds in college football. I believe that. Sarkisian, awesome. Kiffin, awesome. We've won championships with both of them. And to be able to come and battle with two of the greatest offensive minds in college football and come out with a win, this definitely will catapult us and it should motivate us to say, hey, we just did that. So I'm believing today is going to be a win. My score prediction, 35-28, Bama all the way.
Give me an X factor, too, before you break out.
X factor, I believe our defensive line is going to apply pressure today. Mm-hmm. That's what I believe.
All right, Daniel. Well, I appreciate you calling from Texas by way of Alabama. Roll Tide to you. Enjoy your college football slate today and call in anytime.
All right. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide to you. All right, we got an 817 in the call queue. Call line is open, by the way. We got plenty of lines if you want to jump on and give me your score prediction and X Factor, 205-850-1994. Look, I think that, Daniel hit on some good points. And I think that battling Steve Sarkisian and Ole Miss this early in the season is going to continue to battle test his defense. I think the defense is still playing well. I think but you take away those 3 touchdowns that were allowed in that Texas game. I mean, this team has only allowed 5 touchdowns this season. So, I mean, really 2 if you take away those 3 touchdowns. I mean, it's kind of a game of what ifs, but I think that the defense has been playing well. And I think that the defense will have another challenge today. And I don't know if Lane Kiffin's calling if Lane Kiffin was right about T-Rob now calling the defense or whatever it is, but who cares? It doesn't matter. The point is you got to be able to stop the Ole Miss offense because they're coming in hot. They got a lot of weapons, and I think they're going to be healthy. And, guys like Malachi Moore, guys like Kool-Aid, guys on the defensive line, Turner, I'm telling you what, a turnover today early in this game, and I said this against Texas too, that will spur momentum for this entire game. You a big turnover, like a pick six or even just a fumble recovery or something like that, and go down and drive in a short yardage situation, like that will catapult this entire team. Turnovers got to happen. If that happens today, Alabama gets major control of this game from the get-go. And it almost happened against Texas, but Texas recovered that fumble. All right, we got an 817. Let's take it right now. Hey, good morning. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Hey, this Mike from Texas, but I'm originally from Alabama.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Hey, could you turn down the volume in the background?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you a second, man. No problem.
Okay.
Go ahead, man.
Okay, yeah. So, this is my first time calling in. I'm a truck driver, and so I be all over the nation and just keeping up with the Bama Nation, just keeping up with the family or whatever. And I appreciate what you're doing, Cal, and thank you for keeping me in the loop because, like I said, I'm not at home all the time to be able to keep up with the team or whatever. But I just appreciate you.
I appreciate it, man. Go ahead.
Let's get off into it. Okay, so yeah, let's get off into it. So my thing, what I've been noticing is it's the chemistry between the offensive coordinator and the offense. Mm-hmm. I believe we have a high octane offense, and he's trying to play ball management or try to figure the guys out because he really didn't have a lot of time to figure them out over the summer because he came in with a different mentality. And, in past shows, people have been highlighting how Reeves never had, the weapons that he has today with Alabama. Yeah. And I agree with that. Mm-hmm. So my thing now is, okay, we got to get it together because, we on the clock. We in the SEC play. Yep. We got a loss. Yep. Hope we learn from it. And they hitting the film and seeing exactly what needs to be done. Like our line, we would get better line play. We have better line play if we have quicker developing plays. Mm-hmm. We're not having the, throughout the percentage of the offensive play calls. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the plays are over 3 to 4 seconds to, to develop. So throughout a game, the guys are in condition to go out and hold blocks 5 to 10 seconds, play in to play out. So, second, third quarter, where mainly the fourth quarter, we've been losing, the game that we lost in the fourth quarter. Mm-hmm. It's because of that on both sides of the ball. So we need to, offense and defense need to, maintain the level of play during fourth quarter. And if Breeze can connect with our offense and go ahead and put the gas, put his foot on the gas early on, because we have a big play quarterback. We have, they say he's a one-read quarterback, mm-hmm. and so far it's been playing out that way. Mm-hmm. But his upside is he's explosive, and we have the receivers. Like we really are unmatched. No one really can match up playmaker for playmaker on our offense between the running backs, the tight ends, and all of our receivers. We don't like nowhere. Anybody can be explosive, and I don't think no one can match up man for man. So if we can come out, go ahead and hit the big plays early on, get up 28-25, and then try to implement this ball control later on, then our boys will have confidence. The line will have more confidence, and then they're ready to push that line, and then we can be able to run the ball. Mm-hmm. But we come out, we do it backwards. We come out and try to establish the run first, and then go into the pass. But a lot of the teams are prepared for that. A lot of defenses are prepared for that week in, week out. Doesn't matter if it's a less inferior opponent or a Power 5 opponent. They know what we're going to come out and do. They know we're going to come out, try to establish a run, and then do the pass. Well, we need to switch it up, and let's come out, gun blazing, throw the ball deep. If it ain't there, go ahead and, take off and run. But my X factor for today is, like I said, it's really the chemistry of Tommy Reed and our offense.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I like
my
that.
X factor.
I like that. And what's your score prediction?
Okay, my score prediction, if the chemistry is there, which if they can get that answered rather quickly, it can be a blowout for Alabama. But if not, and they still trying to figure out what to do and how to do it, then it'll be a close game, and then we can, like I said, we can be in trouble if it's a close game in the fourth quarter, because that's where we're losing, despite all the, penalties or anything that's going on throughout the game, because we don't really have that many penalties to really, control the outcome of the game,
Mm-hmm.
because we'll still be in the game in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
So we were still in the game, even though we mirrored through them 2 interceptions, we were still in the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying, at that point, but we gave up in the fourth quarter, you know what I'm saying, on both sides of the ball, offense and defense. It's like we couldn't get it. But it can be a blowout, it can be like 42-17, because I believe our defense will feed off the offense if they're putting up the points like that quick and early. But like I said, if they go into the fourth quarter, man, it can be 21-20, maybe Ole Miss. Hate to say that. I never want to say that. So anybody that know me, they know I bleed that crimson and white. You feel me? So we just got to get it together there, man, and let's just rally behind our guys, man, and roll tide.
Hey, well, I appreciate you calling in today. Thank you very much for joining us, Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you calling in. We are on with Mike from Texas, and Mike, I will let you go. But thanks for joining the show, and we'll catch up with you next time.
Most definitely.
All right, man. Take
Appreciate
it.
Cal.
All right. Yep. All right. That was a Mike calling in from Texas. I appreciate the call. We got a 201 that just joined us. I'll get to you guys in just a second. Hit the thumbs up, like, subscribe. Coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Everything asked is Oats Plain. So Jaheim Otis was in a boot last week against South Florida. Should be good to go. Coach Saban said on Monday that he has been practicing. So that is a good sign coming that it was on Monday. Same thing with Tyler Booker, who missed last week. And then you also had Kendrick Law, who didn't even make the trip to South Florida because he was sick. Should be good to go today as well. I think the only guys that will not be playing today, Emmanuel Henderson, who has a hip injury, and then Devontae Smith. Yes, Alabama has another Devontae Smith. I know he's on the defensive side of the ball with a foot injury. So those are the two guys out for Alabama, but everybody else should be good to go for today's game, which is at 2:30 Central Time right here from Bryant-Denny Stadium. Alabama taking on Ole Miss. Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. Hit the thumbs up, like, subscribe. I appreciate you guys calling in and discussing this game with me. You can also become a member of this this YouTube channel by hitting the join button, but a simple subscription goes a long way. So just subscribe, hit the thumbs up. I really appreciate you guys. We'll be coming to you guys after the game with the post-game show. You got Coach Jarek and Coach Shawn leading that. And Coach Smook will be out tonight, but he will be back on the next show. And then I will be coming to you from the stadium with kind of a what I learned, and then we'll dive into it more as Alabama takes on Ole Miss. We go back to the phone lines with a 201, and we start right now. Hey, good morning. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle, this is Adam calling from Georgia. How you doing?
What's up, Adam? Good morning. I appreciate you joining us. Welcome to the show.
Absolutely. I just had a quick comment. A lot of people are criticizing Tommy Rees, just like they criticized Golding and O'Brien. But the truth of the matter is, I thought Rees called a pretty good game against, Texas. But our execution wasn't good. We threw 2 interceptions, penalties. The O-line wasn't performing well. Mm-hmm. And I think the blame on him isn't warranted. I think the problem was that there was a culture problem within the team. Mm-hmm. My question for you is, do you think that they're going to get it together today and really play to the Bama standard and pull out a victory?
Yeah, so This is interesting. So when you look at some of these statistics that I'm about to speak about, Tommy Rees, and one of the questions I asked is, how will he utilize Jalen Milroe? So Milroe's grade in Pro Football Focus, play action, 48.9%. He's 7 of 17 in play action for 119 yards. Now, grade in no play action, 88.9, 20 of 28 for 330 yards. Now, Alabama has only thrown 4 screens with Jalen Milroe. He's 4 of 4 for 25 yards. And Jalen Milroe also has 7 rushes this season that are over 10 yards, with his longest coming from 25 yards downfield. To your point, and you look back at that Texas game, Coach Saban has referred to these as drive killers. Penalties, fumbles, turnovers, those are not necessarily on Tommy Rees, right? If a player commits a penalty, is that on Tommy Rees? No. If a player throws an interception, is that on Tommy Rees? No. If a player fumbles the ball or has a missed snap, right, is that on Tommy Rees? Not necessarily. Now, I would say it is on Tommy if he's seen this at practice before with Seth in the missed snaps, because that is unacceptable. Like, that is something that you've probably seen before during practice. I don't know if it's just happened during the game or what, but that would be on the offensive coordinator and Saban to take him out and to put someone in that can snap the football better. Because I've never seen more missed snaps through the first 3 games of the season ever. Now, it did improve in this last game. We didn't necessarily see that. So I think, to your point, some of the execution has been on the players as opposed to Tommy Rees. I would be curious to see how Rees can utilize Milroe with guys like Amari Niblack, and what happened to Malik Benson, right? Like, this was the guy. Yeah. I mean, I'm really praying that this isn't the next Tyler Harrell. Remember the guy who came over from Louisville and he got a little bit injured, but he got 2 passes. And I really don't think that that's going to be the case with Malik Benson. I know that you guys haven't asked me for my X factors, but you got to get the football today to 2 receivers for sure. You got to get it to Jermaine Burton, and you got to get it to Isaiah Bond, and then figure out a creative way to get it to Amari Niblack. Those are the 3 guys on offense that certainly need the ball. And then if you have to control the ball, you have to go with Roydell Williams or Jace, right? And you have to make sure that you put Jalen in good situations to where he doesn't have to, feel this overwhelming sense of a blitz. And is that coming from Caden Proctor? I mean, look, it's Tommy Rees's job to put the right offensive lineman on there. I would think that the pecking order goes like this: Saban, and I'm just talking offense, Saban, Tommy Rees, Eric Wolford, right? Like, you would think that Tommy Rees has the power to be like, "Yo, Eric, this dude, Caden Proctor, isn't it? He's affecting the offense. He's affecting every single quarterback. Who else you got for me?" And then he goes up to Saban and is like, "Look, Saban, this is what's really affecting our execution. Take him out." The execution on the players has been poor. If you fix those drive killers, I think still the offense has been a little bit vanilla to me. I would like to see a little bit more creativity, but hard to get creative when you are in situations that are drive killers and you're just trying to get some first downs. What else you got, Adam?
No, that's a great answer. I appreciate it. I'm nervous for today, but I'm going to go with Bama 35-24. Thanks for the answer, and roll tide.
All right, roll tide to you, man. All right, that was Adam calling in from Georgia. I appreciate it. We got plenty of phone lines open if you guys want to call and rap with me. I appreciate you guys joining me this morning. I have Tommy Rees's photo up there like he's public enemy number 1. That's not necessarily the case. It's just like the offense that needs to be, it needs to be fixed. So clearly, when you're the offensive coordinator, that's kind of the role that you have. And what an opportunity today for Tommy Rees to go out there and to prove everybody wrong by having a game plan that puts these guys in the right position to score points, to get points on the board. But with that said, too, it comes down to Jalen Milroe, and Jalen Milroe has to execute 100%. An interception early in this game by Jalen Milroe would be crushing to this fan base, would make everybody pissed off, would give Ole Miss another opportunity. And look, I think this game is going to be tight. I think that Alabama wins this game. I don't know if Alabama will cover that spread of 7. I think it's going to be down to the wire, to be honest. But that's okay. Look, you need to win the game. you need momentum for this team. I strongly feel if this team is able to string together a win today against Lane Kiffin, it puts them on the right trajectory to win a bunch more games. How many games is that going to be? Because the schedule is very daunting. It's very difficult. But I think if you just focus on today and you win this game, Alabama's right back in it. And I think the momentum comes right back to Alabama because just as our other caller said, you face Steve Sarkisian, you face Lane Kiffin. Like, these are some tough coaches to go against. And going forward, that is going to give this team momentum, especially if Jalen Milroe has a big game today. Now, I was looking at the over-under on Pro Football Focus, not on Pro Football Focus, on Prize Picks. And they had Jalen Milroe, and I did a video about this yesterday evening. I'll bring it up just so we could talk for context about it. And there was a couple statistics that I want to ask you about inside the comment box, because these guys don't miss when they, offer up these pro football or these Prize Pick statistics. So one of them, and I'll start with Jalen Milroe, and I actually led with a video on this, is Jalen Milroe, do you think that he will throw for more than 211 yards today? Now, against Texas on September 9th, he threw for 255. Against Middle, he threw for 194. So I'm asking you right now inside the comment box, do you think today that Jalen Milroe will throw for more than 211 yards? I'll give you a second to answer. More or less? More or less? I'm going to say more. And I am going to say that he throws for 250, something like that. So Jalen Milroe, more or less 211 yards. I'm going to say more. Got a super chat coming in from Adam. Great show. Thanks. I appreciate it. I'm going with Bama 35-24. Thank you very much for the super chat, Adam. I really appreciate you calling in as well. You've always had such good context. So thank you very much for calling into the show and appreciate your support. My next Prize Pick question. This one's kind of tough. And we got another caller. I'll get to you in just a second. How about this? Jace McClellan, do you think he'll rush for more than 60 yards? Yes or no? Against South Florida, he had 74. It was Roydell Williams that rushed for 174. Against Texas, he had 45. Against Middle, he had 39. That's a tough one. The numbers that they come up with, right, is spot on. Do you think he'll rush for more than 60? I'm going to say no. This is a tough one for me. I'm going to say less. And I think the reasoning is I feel that it'll be kind of a combo punch. Roydell Williams and Jace. And I think together those guys will eclipse 100 yards, but I don't think that Jace will rush for over 60. So inside the comment box right now, will Jace rush for more than 60 yards? Yes or no? That's a tough one. We go back to the phone lines and we take this 470. Hey, what's going on? You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle, it's Andrew from Douglasville again.
What's up, Andrew? I appreciate you, man. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hey, man, I'm ready for some Alabama football today, man. Just he's ready to play Ole Miss today. Hope it'll be a good one. But how many pass yards did you ask about Jalen Milroe? 200
yeah, 211.
I think it's possible to see 211 if Tommy Rees actually does his freaking job today and actually designs some good deep plays for Jalen. If he actually utilizes his deep arm, I think that's possible. Like I said, I don't know if that's going to happen, but I think it's definitely possible. And then as far as the rush game, I think it's definitely possible to see 60 out of Jace McClellan because I'm hoping we run the ball a lot today. So I think it's possible we could see 60 out of Jace and then maybe 100 out of Roydell, depending on how much we run the football today. So it's definitely possible. We just never know, So I'm not going to sit here and say, this is definitely going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen. Like I said, I think it's definitely possible. I hope it happens. And then as far as beating Ole Miss today, I think we can definitely beat Ole Miss today. And I'm hoping we're going to see just a completely different Alabama team today. I think last week, I think the players were just really mad that Milroe wasn't starting. And I think Nick Saban used that game because it was a guaranteed win to test out the QBs. And I think he did it to show us, hey, Milroe's the guy. So I think everyone's going to be behind Milroe today, and we're going to see a cohesive team today. And if we have a cohesive team today and everyone does their job today, I think we'll definitely beat Ole Miss if everyone does their job, especially the O-line. If the O-line can give Jalen time to sit back and throw those deep balls and make those deep plays, those explosive plays, we're definitely going to win the game, you know. And then when the pocket collapses, if Milroe can use his legs and make those explosive plays as well, I don't think the Ole Miss defense is going to be able to stop him. And so if our offense can get stuff going today and our defense does what it has been doing, I think we definitely win the game. I think it's going to be a closer game, but I think Alabama has the potential to be explosive offense. We know Ole Miss has a good offense, so I'm going to predict like 41-35 Alabama.
On with
what I think. I think it could happen today.
On with Andrew from Douglasville. Let me ask you this, Andrew. I like the score prediction. That's a lot of points. It'd be way more than the over-under, which I think is 52 for today's game. Jackson Dart, regarding him as the Ole Miss quarterback, Prize Picks has him throwing for 238 today, more or less. Against Georgia Tech, he had 251. Against Tulane, he had 267. In their opener against Mercer, he had 334. Alabama's defensive secondary been pretty good. Ole Miss clearly has weapons. Do you think he throws for more than 238 yards today, more or less? What you got, Andrew?
No, I don't. I think he definitely makes some good plays, but I think they get down the red zone, and I think our defense will stop him. We've seen that a few times this season where teams have gone down the red zone, and it happened to Texas a few times, and our defense just stops them in the red zone. So, I think he does make like 238. I don't think he gets over that because I think the secondary will stop him from doing more than that. But he has a good arm, so obviously he's going to make some explosive plays. He's going to be able to put up some yardage today, but I think the secondary will stop them in the red zone. I think we'll definitely get some touchdowns, but I think the touchdowns they will get will be explosive plays that we give up. And I think as far as if they drive down the red zone, I think we'll actually stop them in the red zone is what I think will happen. And then I think we'll also see some sacks. I'm hoping the defense can get some sacks today and some QB pressures, make him throw the ball away several times. If we can do that, that would definitely limit how much he can pass for. So I think it all depends on how well defense does today, Because Jackson's a great QB, but if our defense does really good today, then he's not going to throw for that much today. Or at least he's not going to throw for over 240, I believe,
You gave me your score prediction before you get out of here. Give me your X factors for today's game.
X factors is Jalen Milroe, the offensive line, and our defense.
Offensive line and the defense. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think that the offensive line probably labeled right as a clear X factor. I mean, if they do their job, then it's just really on Jalen Milroe, and we know he has the playmaking ability. So, but you can't have both of those items go south. So I appreciate the call, Andrew. Anything else while I got you on the line?
Yeah, man. I mean, Ole Miss is a really good team, and we're playing at home. So I think, we got to bring the heat today if we're going to beat Ole Miss. And I think if we do everything we're supposed to do, if all the elements click today, I think we're definitely going to see a totally different Bama team playing today. But, if our O-line sucks and we're not cohesive and we have just so many issues, we're not going to beat Ole Miss today, So it all depends on if we play as a team, if that makes sense, like I said, Ole Miss is really good. So Ole Miss wants to come here and beat Alabama. They believe they can beat Bama. So if we don't play well, they're going to beat us. So hopefully we play well today. But like I said, anything can happen today. So, but I think it's going to be a good game.
I appreciate the call in, man. Have a good college football Saturday, and we'll catch up with you next time, Andrew.
You too, man. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide to you. All right, we got a 251 and a 256 inside the call queue. Get to you guys in just a second. More or less for Jackson Dart for 240. I've had that on the screen for just a second. I'm going to say less. I know that he has a lot of big play potential, but I think the Alabama secondary will come with it today. I think it's going to be close, but I'm going to say less. And, I mean, you look at kind of the competition they went through in the past. It's a tough one for sure, but I'm going to say less. The next graphic I have, it revolves around, how about this one? Jermaine Burton, more or less than 45 yards today. More or less than 45 yards today. He had 7 against South Florida, 58 against Texas. And what was that? What does that say? That is 62 against Middle. And then in the Sugar Bowl, he had 87. Different quarterback, though. More or less receiving yards for Jermaine Burton. I am going to say more. What about you? Sound off in the comment box. You go back to the phone. Lines 251. Let's get it. Hey, you're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Hey, this is Cliff from Bruton.
Cliff, I appreciate you calling in. Good morning. Welcome to the show. Take it away.
Yes, sir, man. I think we're going to do well today. I've got confidence that the O-line will step up today. I'm just kind of hoping that that our defensive backs will step up and give a little more pass protection than they've been given here in the last game for sure.
Yeah.
And I think if that happens, I think that Milroe might have a pretty comfortable day back there.
I just put up a graphic on
throwing the ball. Yes,
I just put up a graphic along with Cliff from Bruton. Jermaine Burton. Do you think he catches for more than 45 yards today? I certainly do.
Yes, if those defensive backs can get there and help the O-line and they can do what they're supposed to do, yes, I think he'll definitely go over.
Yeah, and I think same thing with Isaiah Bond. I think Isaiah Bond's my next graphic. He's like 45 yards. I mean, you got to figure out a way to get Isaiah Bond the football 100%. Would you agree with that, Cliff?
Yes, sir. Probably either one of those, but yeah. But yeah, I'd figure at least one of those definitely over 48, yes.
So how confident are you in this team? And I know that's a tough question to answer right now because they've been lackluster, but do you have confidence that they're able to go out and take care of business against Ole Miss today?
Oh, yes. I do believe that our backs will probably come away with maybe 1-2 interceptions today is what I'm looking at.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's going to be the difference in the game, yes.
And let me ask you this. Lane Kiffin, your thoughts on Lane Kiffin overall? Because you got the trolling Lane Kiffin, but you got the guy who also, really admires Coach Saban. Then you got the offensive mind of Lane Kiffin. How do you feel about Lane Kiffin? I mean, would you be excited to beat him? Do you think that he could eventually one day be the guy? How do you feel about a coach so polarizing as Lane Kiffin?
So that's a good one there, but I'm kind of like some of your earlier callers this week, saying that he may have gave us some good rat poison this week.
Yeah, I agree too. Right? It's been good. Somebody said on social media, or I think in one of our comment boxes, that he's basically doing this to to save Alabama. So he's like sacrificing himself to wake up Alabama, and he's trying to piss them off to wake up Alabama. And I was like, wow, I didn't think about that. But, he loves Coach Saban at the end of the day. It's just the trolls sometimes get a little bit annoying, but that's, they're trolls for a reason. Okay, Cliff, give me a score prediction and give me an X factor for today's game.
I'd probably say 31-23.
31-20.
And like I said, I think the X factor is definitely going to be the turnovers. Yes.
X factor is the turnovers.
And I hope we're not on. I hope we're not on the wrong side of that. If we can stay on the right side of that, I think we'll be okay.
I'll take that, Cliff. I appreciate you calling in. I think you're a first-time caller, so call in anytime. And welcome to Bama Football on YouTube.
All right, thank you, Kyle. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide to you, buddy. It's kind of gotten to the point now where we've taken so many callers that I'm starting to make friends or becoming fam right here on the YouTube channel, right? You guys calling in. The only thing is I don't necessarily know your phone number. So hold it against my head, not my heart, when you guys call in. And, I don't know, who's calling in. Okay, how about this one? This is a good one. I think this is easy. Okay, Will Riker, will he have more? Let me get that framed up right. Will he have more than 7.5 points today? Isn't that easy? That's money in the bank. 100%. Because think about it. If he kicks 2 field goals, which, he probably will, Then you have 6 points right there. Is Alabama going to score? This is easy. And that's how they calculate points, I'm sure. But that is an easy one. That's the easiest one you have. So the easy ones, in my opinion, are, I would say, did we say Jalen Milroe over 211? Did we say that? I think everyone agreed with that one. So we're taking that one for sure. We're definitely taking this one. It's over 7.5. And then we'll probably pass on Jace. And I think most everybody felt that more than 45 yards for Jermaine Burton, right? So those are our three on Prize Picks. So it's kind of the over-under, more or less, so to speak. All right, 256, let's get it. Hey, you're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who I'm on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Kyle, what's up, brother? This is Shawn.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, Coach Shawn, he's like a part of this entity, and I'm still have to like do the introduction. Coach Shawn, you know what I was thinking about? Like, I don't know if you ever listened to the old, well, it still happens. You still have Dan Patrick, the show, but they have a segment where people call in.
Yeah.
And every time they call in, you have to announce like your height and weight, and they do like the bell, like the boxing bell. And I was always such a fan of that. So maybe I start doing that in the future. So it'd be like, hey, what's going on? Kyle Henderson, who I'm on the line with. And then, you know, you would say it, but then you would automatically know to say like 6'2", 240, and then we'd ring the bell. Bing. Anyways.
Yeah.
All right, Coach Shawn. Alabama, a 7-point favorite today. Everybody feels it's kind of doom and gloom. I feel that Alabama wins this game, pretty or not. The win right here gives Alabama so much momentum that they're able to kind of get back on track and start to become the Alabama team that we thought this team could be. What's your take on today's game? And right? I mean, they win this game, it gets back on track.
Let me say this, man. Let me say from the beginning, brother, I feel great today. Mm-hmm. I feel great. Let me explain something. I feel better about this game than I have any of our other three games, even MTSU, even South Florida. And I say that because I really feel like today we're going to see the real Alabama. Sure, just the way I'm going to deal with it, I'm wiping the slate clean. I know we're 2-1, but I'm wiping the slate clean because Coach Saban announced Jalen would be our starter.
Yes.
He announced it to the team. This is our guy. Okay, cool. Now we can play some ball. Now we don't have to, we can stop the experiments. We can stop the ridiculous Peyton Manning type offenses with this guy. We can go in. He's our starter. Everybody knows it. Now we can formulate the offense to this guy's strengths. We can run some design quarterback runs. We can run some design quarterback draws. We can run some design RPOs. We don't have to have this guy dropping back 25 times trying to read zone, trying to read split safety, trying to find hot routes on the flat. We can let him drop back, be an athlete, play quarterback, and devise an offense around him.
Yes.
I feel great. I feel great because of that. Also, I know Pete Golding. He's a mimicker. What I mean by mimicker is you can tell by our defenses over the last couple of years, he's a defensive coordinator that like to run the same schemes of other teams who had success rather than pick and choose plays. Mm-hmm. They're going to try to attack Caden Proctor. They're going to try to bring pressure on his side. All the normal things. I can guarantee you he's going to try to formulate the Texas defense, even though they don't have Texas personnel. I feel great about today, man. Mm-hmm. I feel great about today. I feel like our running back's going to have a big game today. The one thing that concerns me is I don't want to go 3 and out too much against this type of offense because Lane will try to run 90 plays. This guy will try to keep our defense on the field the entirety of the game. I want to run the ball with Jalen Milroe. I want to run the ball with our offense. I want Roydell to have 17 to 18 carries by the fourth quarter. Mm-hmm. Whoever the hot back is, we got to keep the ball on the ground. I want to be physical today. Give our offensive line some reward and let them run block a lot today. This team, I don't think the fourth quarter of the USF game is the game plan I want to see today. I want us to go out and be physical, beat them up a little bit up front, give some confidence to Jalen, give some confidence to Caden. Let them be in their element, which is run blocking, and whip the man in front of you. I really feel that way, man. I feel good about today.
On the line with Coach Shawn calling in from Huntsville. Coach, I want your score prediction and I want your X factor as we look at this game, because there's a lot of moving parts to Alabama Ole Miss. There's a lot of headlines that always get generated. But let's start with the score prediction and your X factor. Give me a couple X factors for today's game.
I think the X factor today is the offensive game plan. I want to see does Tommy Rees come out and have Jalen in a 3 and 5 step drop, or does he come out and roll Jalen out? I want to see an X factor of the game plan for the offense for Jalen Milroe. That's one. For two, I want to know which back has the hot hand, because the running backs are going to be huge in today's game. Roy Dale had the hot. I mean, Jace did well. Don't get me wrong. Jace did well, but Jace is a different type back. He had some hesitation. He waits for the hole to develop. Very Najee type, very, very patient running back. Roy Dale is more of a B-Rob, straightforward, take the ball, go, hold there or not. I'm going to make one if it's not. That's Roy Dale. And both of those styles work for different defensive schemes. Yeah. So my X factor is, how do you use Jalen Milroe? Mm-hmm. Which running back has the hot hand? The defense is going to play well. I'm not even worried about the defense.
100%.
They're going to play well. Yep. And my score prediction, I think Alabama wins 48-24. I really do. I think Bama's going to get out today. I do. I think Jalen's going to have a day-to-day. I'm through with the doom and gloom. Yeah. I feel like today Alabama reminds the world who we are against it. We got our starter. Let's devise the game plan. Let's get back to playing Bama football. Today, we lay the law down in Tuscaloosa.
Love it, Coach Shawn. I appreciate it. And just like Eric D said, we got 154 right now, but only one thumbs up. Yo, you guys need to turn it up. And just like Coach Shawn said, done with the doom and gloom. Hey, Coach, I'm going to let you go. I got to get ready to go to the stadium. I know you're going to be on the post-game show. I love the enthusiasm. I feel with you. And, I will catch you next time.
All right, Cal, I'll see you later on, man. Have a great time, and roll tide to everybody in the chat. Let's get it tonight on the show.
Let's get it. All right. That was Coach Shawn coming in. All right. Here we go. Time for my score prediction and my X factors. Okay. And then we're going to wrap it up. All right. So score prediction, I have Alabama winning 31 and Ole Miss 24. I think it's going to be a tight game, but I think Alabama is going to be able to score a pivotal touchdown. And I think Alabama, for the most part, has the momentum in this game. I think Ole Miss is going to have some razzle dazzle. I think Lane Kiffin is going to do every single thing possible to get a dub. And why wouldn't he? He wants to join Sarkisian, Jimbo, to be in that group, Kirby Smart to be a former assistant to beat Coach Saban. I don't think it happens today. I'm with Coach Shawn. I'm wiping out those first 3 games that we saw. I think this is a new team. I love the fact that they named Jalen the starter. No more waffling. He's the guy, ride or die with Jalen Milroe. I think he has enough playmaking ability to not only beat Ole Miss, but to win a lot of games for Alabama. And I think the defense is going to play a pivotal role in that. So I am confident in the defense, and I think Jalen Milroe has a really big game today. X factors, of course, you got to go with Jalen Milroe. And just like Coach Shawn said, the running backs have to stay hot, and I think that has to be part of the game plan. But on the defensive side, I think that wrapping up an open field, especially on third downs, you got to get Ole Miss to get off the field. You can't allow them to move the chains. Just like last week against South Florida, that quarterback was able to move the chains against Alabama. You can't allow that to happen. It's going to be very difficult to do. Ole Miss, Jackson Dart, he's a tough guy to bring down in terms of he gets squirrely. But I think if Alabama can wrap up an open field and the defense can come with it, I think the offense has enough today to beat Ole Miss, and I think this spurs a lot of momentum for the team. Enough doom and gloom. You got Saban. This team is going to get back on track. Where you at, Alabama fans? Let me know inside the comment box. Give a roll tide. Coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama on game day. Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube.